7 steps to a six-pack. Rule number 1. Your meals must contain protein, carbohydrates, and fat. So, yes, really fat. We've all heard that fat is bad before, but I'm sure lately we've heard that it's not so bad. But here's how it works. So meals should contain protein, carbohydrates, and fat. So protein, you probably don't need to be sold on the virtues of protein since it's the raw material for muscle growth, but it also helps extinguish your appetite and aids in fat loss. Here's why this macronutrient is so important. At any given moment, even at rest, your body is breaking down and building up protein. Substitute the word muscle for protein, and you quickly understand just how dynamic your body is and how your muscle content can change considerably in the course of just a few weeks. For both males and females, the amount of muscle in your body directly affects the speed at which your body metabolizes energy, or calories. So think about it like this. Your muscle affects your metabolism. I talk about that all the time. So the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. So here's the formula. Here's what you can do with that, with protein. Protein has 4 calories per gram. You're going to calculate the following. The amount of grams of protein in your meal multiplied by 4. For example, 12 grams times 4 equals 48 calories. That equals the amount of calories from protein. Those calories should amount to approximately 30%, actually more than that, about 40, maybe even 50% of your total calories in your meal. And if you're an extreme athlete, that may even be more. That may be more, close to 60%. I'm sorry, not 60%, no, 30%. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's carbohydrates, never mind. 30%, sometimes 35, 25 of your total calories in your meal should come from protein. All right. Carbohydrates. So, carbohydrates or carbs. Carb-containing foods not only provide adequate energy for exercise and are typically also rich in vitamins and minerals. Carbohydrates also facilitate the body's ability to use or burn fat. So the formula would be carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram. Calculate the following. The amount of grams of carbohydrates in your meal multiplied by 4. For example, 12 grams times 4 equals 48 calories. That equals the amount of calories from carbohydrates. Those calories should amount to approximately 40% of the total calories in your meal. Sometimes 50%, sometimes maybe less, 35%, but some big chunk of your meal should come from carbohydrate. So carbohydrate is not the enemy. Heavy processed carbohydrates is the enemy. And finally, fat. For years, this nutrient was considered a dietary demon. However, studies clearly show that it's not fat that inflates your belly, it's too many calories, whether that comes from fat, protein, or carbohydrate. So it turns out, fat may actually keep you from overeating because it makes you feel full. It also is responsible for the delivery of certain nutrients to your body, which is necessary for proper hormone function. So, fat has 9 calories per gram, and you can calculate the following. The amount of grams of fat in your meal multiplied by 9. For example, 12 grams times 9 equals 108 calories. Those calories should amount to approximately 30% of your total calories in your meal. Actually, maybe a little bit less, 25. Some people argue a little bit more, 35%, but around that percentage, that's how much calories from fat you should have in your meal. So here's a cool trick. You're going to listen to your body when you're eating. On certain days, you may need less or more calories per day depending on your activity level. So instead of counting calories, the second you begin to feel full, put down the fork and save it for later. I tell people all the time, you don't eat until you're full, you eat until you're satisfied. You don't have to finish your plate. Save your money, save your time, package that plate up, put it in the fridge. That's a meal for later. You are. Good morning, Marguerite. Good morning, Dionisio. Got some people on board here. All right, so that was rule number 1. That's the main rule is your foods should contain carbohydrate, fat, and protein. But there's some other important stuff. So rule number 2, eat breakfast. So regularly skipping breakfast severely increases your risk of obesity. and breakfast is the one meal where eating more is almost always better than eating less, simply because research suggests those who skip breakfast have higher cravings later in the day. So here's your plan. You're going to eat a considerable portion of your daily calories, around 30 to 35% of your total calorie intake that day in the morning. The very best breakfast will match proteins and whole grains with produce and healthy fats. For example, fried eggs on whole grain toast and a protein and fruit smoothie, something like that. If you have neither the time nor the stomach for a big breakfast, you can eat 2 small ones. Have cereal with your coffee, then grab a yogurt and fruit to eat at your desk. Now that was kind of a general rule that I wrote a while ago, but now after more experience, I don't really recommend coffee for someone trying to lose weight. I say that because coffee has kind of an appetite suppressing effect. So if I'm telling someone who wants to lose weight to eat frequently, eat at least 4 meals a day, if you're drinking coffee that suppresses your appetite, it's hard to get in those meals. So if you're really trying to be good at losing fat quickly, take it easy on the coffee. You'll find you'll be able to eat more meals more often. All right, rule number 3. You're going to eat before and after exercise. There are several reasons for doing this. 1, you build more muscle. Eating before training speeds muscle growth. By fueling your body with protein and carbohydrates within an hour or 2 of exercise, you provide your muscles with enough energy to build strength and burn fat more effectively. Also, you burn more fat. When you down protein before and after weight training, you blunt the effects of cortisol, the stress hormone that tells your body to store fat. As a result, you burn more fat not only during your workout, but for an additional 24 hours afterward. And by the way, when you hear people saying that you burn a lot of calories after your workout's done, that's because if you had gotten your heart rate up really high, that's what's really burning the calories after. So if you want that calorie burning effect after your workout, make sure your heart rate was pretty high during the workout. So finally, eating before and after exercise, you'll feel more energy and less pain. A mix of protein and carbs before and after your workout can inhibit muscle breakdown and reduce inflammation. That means you not only build muscle faster, but also recover more quickly and with less next day soreness. All right, hope that makes sense. Rule number 4, eat it if it grows on a tree or a bush, a stalk, a vine as well. In other words, if it grows on or is a plant, that's what you want to eat. Fruits and vegetables should be included in every meal and as many snacks as possible. The reason for this is your goal is to fill your body with muscle-promoting, fat-discouraging nutrients. And the very best source of them is fruits, nuts, vegetables. By loading your body with the maximum amount of nutrients for the least number of calories, that's what you want to do. So your plan is to eat at least 1 serving of fruits or vegetables at every meal. You can and should eat as much of them as you want to help satisfy cravings. Eat your fruits and vegetables first. Not only will you consume more vegetables and fewer calories from other foods, but the fiber content will lower the glycemic load of your meal, helping you sidestep those swings in blood sugar that lead to hunger. Try at least 1 new fruit or vegetable each week, and make sure that salads and fruit salads have at least 4 different colors. That's a cool rule. Try to have different colors of fruit and vegetables on your plate. So for example, lettuce, yellow peppers, tomatoes, and carrots, or pineapple, orange, kiwis, and grapes, different colors, different fruits. Rule number 5, leave out the sugar water. So what I mean by that is anything that's not a real juice. So sugar water makes up the majority of soft drinks or energy drinks and sports drinks we consume all the time. Here are some common sugary waters that are common but not so good for you. So colas, sweetened iced tea, vitamin waters, synthetic fruit drinks, energy drinks. Good morning, Andy. All of these kind of, unless it's a fresh squeezed orange juice or a real, not from concentrate cranberry juice or something like that. If it's not a real juice, you're really just drinking stuff that we don't know what it is, and the sugar in it is usually synthetic. So, for example, you would want to stay away from those 0-calorie drinks. I know that sounds kind of crazy because, you know, oh good, 0 calories, that means I won't gain weight. But there's a whole lot of research on how it affects your gut bacteria and how you stay hungry for sugar even if you're tasting sugar, but your body's not really getting it, so you still crave it. And there's, you know, other things with your health that the fake sugar is just not so good for. So if you want something sweet with your drink, fresh, real juice. Rule number 6, sleep. Sleep deprivation can cause unwanted effects on more than several body functions, one being the body's ability to regulate hormones that suppress appetite. And this is very true. You guys can do a little experiment with yourself. One day you might wake up after only a few hours of sleep and go through the day and notice how hungry you were that day. You can even write it down at the end of the day. Then take another day and get a whole lot of sleep, and you'll notice you're not quite as hungry on the days that you get more sleep. It's true, it affects your hunger hormones. All right, so if you're what researchers call a short sleeper, measured by how long you sleep each night, and that would mean like 5 to 6 hours or less. If you're sleeping less than 6 hours, you're a short sleeper. You want to be sleeping more than that. You likely find it difficult to lose weight. So on these less than sufficient sleep days, we eat more meals, choose fattier foods, and shift eating to later in the night. And that's not good because we want to be eating breakfast, right? All right, so studies on this subject have found that people who reported sleep problems were more likely to experience a major weight gain. So here's what you want to do. Aim to get between 6 and 8 hours of sleep. Small lifestyle choices such as avoiding naps, lessening TV time, increasing exercise intensity, or exercising at all if you aren't already, and eating healthier. See the rules above. Those are all ways to help you fall asleep at your goal time. Final rule. Rule number 7. Short duration, high intensity exercise. It's great for losing body fat, keeping your weight under control. That's not to say that endurance training or maybe lower intensity exercise is not good. It's very good. But time and time again, we find that comparing high intensity exercise for a shorter duration compared to low intensity exercise for long duration has a nice effect on your body for, one, building nice lean toned up muscle and burning a whole lot of calories. So they say that slow and steady wins the race, but the cardiovascular key to burning fat is using interval training workouts that alternate high intensity levels with low intensity effort. Raising your heart rate high keeps your body burning calories long after you've stopped working out. This post-workout increase in metabolic rate is known as excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, or EPOC for short. So it has been proposed, based on the results of numerous studies comparing the amount of calories burned at rest after low intensity versus high intensity exercise, that high intensity interval training is a superior method of fat loss due to its effect on post-workout metabolic rate. So all that means is when you work out and you work out intensely, when you're done working out, you know, hours after, up to 24 hours after, you're burning more calories. Okay? So that's pretty much it. It's a very basic guide for yourself, but those are 7 steps to having a really low body fat, controlling your weight. So rule number 1, meals must contain protein, carbohydrates, and fat. Rule number 2, eat breakfast. Rule number 3, eat before and after exercise. Rule number 4, eat it if it grows on a tree. Rule number 5, leave out the sugar water. Rule number 6, sleep. And rule number 7, do short duration, high intensity exercise. So that's it, guys. I hope that was helpful. I have a few people on here, so if you guys have any questions, I'll leave that open for you now. I'll let you take a moment to think about any if you have any. So anyway, while you guys are thinking of that, controlling your weight is really Very simple. People try to get stuck in, doing all these little tricks and tips. There's so many fads for weight loss that come and go. We update our research. We find out new things. But really, the reality is if you want to get a handle on your weight, you have to consume less calories than you burn. So in fitness, it's like the law of gravity. We call it the law of thermodynamics. And what that means is if you consume if you burn more calories than you consume, you lose weight. If you consume more than you burn, you gain weight. So whatever is going on in your life, whatever little trick or tip you're using for your own weight loss, if you are not losing weight, for some reason, you're not burning more calories than you're consuming. So, really, it's a combination of many things. Your sleep, your nutrition, huge. Your exercise, your lifestyle, your stress. All those things are working well. Then you should have a handle on your weight. But the main rule is, if you are burning more than you're consuming, you'll be losing weight. So that's kind of what you need to find out for yourself. How are you doing that? The easiest way to do that really would be to have some sort of food journal. So if you guys like these little apps on your phone called MyFitnessPal or any calorie tracking app, you should know, if I were to ask you, if you're trying to lose weight, if I were to ask you how many calories did you burn yesterday and how many calories did you consume yesterday, if you don't know that number, well, maybe you lost weight, but the only way to be sure is if you know those numbers. If you consume less than you burn, then you're good. So food journal, it's a great idea. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to end it a little early if you guys don't have questions. I hope that was useful for you. And halfway through the Fittest Winner Challenge, you guys are doing great. I'm seeing some before pictures. I'm seeing a lot of posts with food. Hopefully this will affect your guys' food choices, but of course I have the diet guide for you, so do your best to follow with that. I hope you guys took a little break on the weekend. I know you guys have been working hard. Good morning. Let yourself take a break on the weekend. If you did, that's great. But we have a week left, so Wednesday we're going to do another workout online, and then Sunday I'll be meeting with you again here. So good luck halfway there. If you guys have any more friends that want to join the challenge with you, it's not too late. They can join anytime during the challenge. All right, I see your question here. So someone asked, what do I eat today? What's today's food? Well, August, you gotta get that meal plan. So message me when you're done. Message me when I disconnect, and I'm going to send you the dietary guide from when you guys sign up for the challenge. There's a dietary guide that comes along with it, as well as the exercise guide. I'll send that to you, August, and you can choose any. This guy said tacos. No, not tacos. You guys can choose any food from there. So I'll give you an example, August. On any given morning, if I'm in a rush, if I don't have a lot of time to eat, today is going to be something like I'm going to have watermelon, a boiled egg, and a couple nuts. That's it. So we talked about earlier having protein, carbs, and fat in your meal. That meal contains about that ratio of protein, carbs to fat. So fruit and nuts, August, is a very easy go-to at any given time, especially in the morning. You can also do, if you're starting your day now, you can do, my favorite recipe comes from a guy named Mike Dolce, and it's called the breakfast bowl. Basically, that's a bunch of oats, bananas, strawberries, blueberries, a little bit of nut butter, almond milk. You just mix it all up, heat it up, and eat it. Super easy. It can be high in calories if you eat a lot of it, but all the energy you need, all the nutrients you need is right there. So someone said, I need to exercise more and use food less to manage my stress. Food journaling is key. Yeah, this comes from someone that really had success with food journaling. Food journaling is, people don't realize how powerful it is until you actually do it. So we always think we're eating less than we are, but when you really add up those calories through technology is amazing. You know, technology allows us to really understand how many calories we're consuming with food journaling. It really is powerful, so I encourage all of you guys to do that. All right, if you guys don't have any more questions, it's great to see all of you here. Good luck with the challenge. If anybody is here that has not joined the challenge but you still want to, like I said, it's not too late. Message me when I disconnect now, and I will see you guys on Wednesday for our workout, and I'll check in with you pretty soon throughout the challenge. Good luck, halfway there. You guys have a great day. Oh, this person says, Jonathan, are you on MyFitnessPal? Yes, I am, but I haven't used it in a while. I'm gonna go check on it and see who my friends are on there. It's been a while, but I did use MyFitnessPal for myself a couple times back, and I had a great success with it. So check it out, guys. It's a really, really good app for journaling your food. All right, you guys have a great day. See you soon.